What does it take to achieve a breakthrough in running performance and recovering from injuries? Hey, today I've got a special guest who has been one of the nation's top sprinters for a while now. First in high school, winning and fighting for the opportunity to run in the state of Washington. And then in college, where she set an NCAA record indoors in the 60-meter dash. Mm, mm, mm. Well, after that short stint in college, this young lady recognized her worth and turned professional the following season. She's battled injuries for the past couple of years, but this weekend, or the weekend of July 4th, 2020, this rising star on the track had a breakthrough from her breakdowns. And today, she joins me to share her story. Hey, welcome to the show, my girl, Hannah Cunliffe. What's up, baby? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, thanks for taking the opportunity to spend a little time with me. Oh, look, I'm over in Arizona. I think today it's 110. Tomorrow it's going to be 114 or 15, 116 over the weekend. How is Florida?
Florida has been around, the 90s, 70% humidity, so pretty
Your,
humid.
your hair ain't curling.
No, I had my workout earlier, though. You should have saw me after.
Okay. Now you got a whole crew of folks that you're working with down there. A lot of talented athletes make Florida home. What attracted you?
I think the training group and talking to my agent, I wanted to, I wanted to stay in Florida. I wanted to compete and, train in warm weather for once. I was, Washington, Oregon, Oklahoma. So yeah, definitely just want to stay here. The group is obviously a really good group. Everybody's well known, so I knew it was going to be a competitive group and a good environment for me to train in.
Well, I tell you, I absolutely love that. And girl, I know you got the hiccups, but we ain't gonna worry about that. Our audience is very forgiving, and plus they just glad to be in your presence. So don't you worry about that. So, hey, real quick though, what is up with that big dog you got?
Pluto, my cane corso. Sorry.
Tell us about Pluto.
He is that I really fell in love with his breed. Before I had an American bully growing up, I had a golden retriever. We got him last July. He was born May 2019. Yeah, he's literally one of my favorite dogs ever. Definitely my favorite breed now. He's still not fully grown. He turned one in May. So yeah, he's about one in 2 months right now. So he's still got some growing to do, but he's very smart and very protective, loving dog. So
Wow. Yeah, I see that. I watch your man post some videos too, and smart, loyal, listens,
yeah,
disciplined. I mean, talented dog.
yeah, very disciplined for sure.
And just beautiful.
All thanks to my boyfriend, man. He trained him really well.
No kidding. Well, he did a good job. So let me ask you a question. Since we're in the middle of the pandemic here, and got a lot going on in the world right now, how are you handling the pandemic? We're gonna get to the race in a minute. I'm gonna tease people a little bit and make them wait. But how are you handling the pandemic? You're still training. Your group is good, and you've managed to get to competition in.
Yeah, I mean, it's been different, besides, going for training and treatment. I really don't leave the house. I've been to the beach twice, more on the private beaches, so it's not crowded. But yeah, really just trying to stay home and train, because I don't want to bring anything to my group as well, so I have to be considerate of where I'm going and just extra precautions. It's been kind of tough. I'm happy that I'm able to train and have a regular really training, because I feel like being stuck inside could really fog you mentally and put you in a dark place if you're not looking forward to something or achieving something. So I think just being able to still train and be able to get that competition in was definitely good for me and my mental health and everything. Because yeah, staying inside and doing all these precautions since what, about March, it's
Mhm.
been a little crazy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, and I tell you one thing that I like about it is I think it really has given a lot of athletes an opportunity to to give their bodies a chance to heal.
yeah,
Now, you've dealt with some injuries over throughout your career. In fact, I first heard about you when my boy Clayton up in Washington said, "Look, there's this girl sprinter up in Seattle. You gotta check her out. We got to get her on your program." And he said, but she's had some injury issues, and I've been trying to get you out here for a
no,
long time. So maybe someday we will. But let's go back and and talk a little bit about. We're gonna bring people full circle from high school. What was it like? Because you even had to battle just to get to compete in high school. Talk to us a little bit about that.
yeah, that was difficult. I thought, me being homeschooled, and I competed in a high school that was closer to me, but it wasn't in my district. But because I was homeschooled, I was able to compete with them, and things just didn't work out. Some things happened with some of the teammates, and just kind of a misunderstanding. So I stopped running for them my freshman year, and then sophomore year just ran unattached. Pretty much ran through an online school at Arcadia. Then my junior year is when I tried to compete because I was attending Federal Way High School, so which was in my district. So I guess because my freshman year, when I competed for the school that was out of my district, I guess I had to sit out a whole year, but they didn't count my sophomore year. So that ended up being I had to sit out my whole junior year. So I really didn't get to compete in the state championships until my senior year. And it was in March, right after Texas relays, I had a slight tear to my ACL and MCL. So then I knew it was my last year. One of my goals was, of course, to win a state championship. And so yeah, I basically did everything I could to recover. I was in the hyperbaric chamber, um, going to Rolfing sessions, chiro, massage, just rehabbing, trying to do everything to get right. Was able to compete at state, which was nice. I wasn't 100%, but it was still good to be able to compete injury free and get back into that. And I think we got the state record in the 4x1, so it was a good year. And then went on to well, kind of a delay to go to college. I couldn't compete my first fall because of NCAA eligibility issues because of my homeschooled classes. So I wasn't able to attend my first year of college because of some of my homeschool classes not being able to transfer over.
Ah,
That
that's
was
what happened. I tell you what, I'm not gonna hold it against you. And I think I saw you your freshman year out here in Arizona,
oh
uh,
yeah,
and you know, you were wearing those colors from that other school in Oklahoma. You see all this orange behind me. I'm Oklahoma State through and through, baby.
I know.
So, but I didn't hold it against you. And then you made a shift, and that's all right with me.
Yeah, made that shift to Oregon, and I kind of knew, me and my dad were kind of on the same page. We knew I should have attended Oregon. Just the training style fit me better, since I'm a power runner. So I think it was just slight delay, but then I got back on track, transferred over, I think May or June of my freshman year, and then got enrolled in summer classes there and started getting ready for the 2016 outdoor season.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about 2016 because that was kind of a breakout year for you. You had some phenomenal performances. Take us through. Well, before we get there, let's do this. Your dad was your coach throughout the majority of your career, and what's up with your family? I'm gonna have to talk to your dad. Whatever y'all drinking. What's up with that? How many pro athletes can you have in one family?
No. too crazy. Yeah, got a lot of talent. Yeah, God really blessed us for sure. My sister Chloe, she signed with Puma for pole vault. My brother Sam, he should be going into the NBA soon, and yeah, my sister Sarah, she's a really good dancer, and Sophia, she long jumps, and we'll see what Abby has. She's the youngest, so I think she's
Wow.
gonna jump. We'll see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I tell you, I absolutely love it. So now let's do this. Now let's talk a little bit about that first year at Oregon. It suited your training, your body style, the way they trained. Um, Talk to us. Take us through what it was like for you once you made that transition.
Yeah, I just had to get used to a different training style. Weights were early in the morning, and then around 6:45, 7, and then training was at 2 o'clock. So in between, that's when we got our class and tutoring in. Um, but it was a good move for me. Just seeing the different plyometrics that we did. Um, having I had really competitive teammates, so I think that also played a lot into what we were doing. We held each other to a high standard and pushed each other really hard.
Mm,
So you couldn't come to practice, and even if you were tired, you couldn't have a bad day because you were going to lose. And
mm,
a lot of people, you're competitive, so you don't want to lose even on a bad day. So it was a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, sacrifice. College, you can have a little more fun, but still had to be pretty driven, I
mm.
would say. So I think it was a good transition. Just yeah, a difference in the plyometrics, in the detail of the drills, and learning the start for me was really big when I went there too. Coach Taylor did a very good job on teaching me that as well.
Wow. Now, hey, NCAA indoor record. Talk to us a little bit.
Um, that that was a funny day because prelims did not go well. Our coach was very upset with us after prelims, and he came over to us. He was like, "I don't know what that was. That was poor, terrible execution." And he's like, "You guys need to figure it out in the final." So I remember him, getting into us a little bit when we were cooling down after that prelim, and I just kind of told myself, okay, you need to lock in, you need to get into that zone. And I was just, as soon as we started warm up, I was just really focused, really efficient. My practice starts were really good. Like everything felt good. And well, I didn't even know what the national record was going into the race. So I just yeah, I think I just went in there and focused on me and stayed in my lane, and just had a really good race.
Wow. Well, hey, you had a phenomenal race. I got a chance to watch it, so I was really excited and happy for you afterwards. So, indoors record, outdoors 10.99.
Yeah.
Girl. Hmm. You
that
know I
uh,
had to ask about it.
that was a race. Everybody was kind of telling me before, I think you could run tens, and I was like, well, this is my opener, just calm down. Let me shake the rust off. And like I said, I went into that race just relaxed. I trusted my training, everything I had done before, and I didn't expect to run it. I can't lie, I didn't expect to run that fast, but I remember coming out of the blocks and out of my acceleration, I was like, where is everybody? And I could see Jenna out of my peripheral. I was like, okay, is anybody else coming? And then I just remember, okay, just stay here, and I just stayed smooth through the line. It was my PR, my best race.
It was fluid. It was
Yeah,
smooth.
it
That's
was.
for sure. Uh, Now, we got to get to it. Injuries. They've been nagging for you for a little while, and it's really hampered not just your ability to compete, but even your ability to train. Take us through your mindset dealing with injuries year after year after year. Talk to us.
Obviously it's very, I was very down. It's hard mentally, but I think I had a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of, people saying bad things, negative things. So, but I used it as motivation instead of kind of feeling sorry for myself. Of course, the first few days I would be really sad that I was hurt, um, but I only gave myself a few days, and then I needed to snap back. I needed to get on my rehab. I needed to figure out why this kept occurring. Just try and get back healthy and change whatever kept occurring. My hamstring injury kept reoccurring, so if that just meant strengthening them, staying away from certain drills, it was kind of a hard time, but I think I coped well, and I know my potential, and I believed in myself, so that's what kept me going.
Well, and I tell you this, you are a strong person of faith. And I tell you, it really shows. And to go through what you have dealt with, it really takes that. How do you feel your faith has impacted how you handle adversity and success too?
A lot, because I started realizing, things aren't in my control, and things aren't on my time. I wanted to make that Olympic team in 2016, but I had an injury. Two of my teammates were fortunate enough to make the team and do well. So I think that helped inspire me. But I also had to, instead of thinking why not me, I had to take on the challenge. And I realized, yeah, it's not my timing, it's God's timing. He's gonna do, he's gonna have us do whatever, whenever he wants, and it's all his plan. So I think I just had to trust that over the years, because like I said, I knew my potential, I believed in myself, and just had to wait for things to fall in order. And so I think I just had to practice, being patient and trusting him that he had a better plan for me than I did for myself.
Ooh, girl, look out. If so many others would just get present to that. It's on his time, not my time. And the plan is his, not mine. Hey, look, I'm there. I'm with you. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Thank you. Appreciate you for sharing that. So, a couple more questions for you, and then we're gonna get to to what everybody probably wants to hear about. The breakthrough, getting back on the track. So, talk to me a little bit about here's one of the things that I focus on. Here on the show, we deal with a lot of injuries, helping athletes recover from injuries, and give them the secrets to improving their sports performance. Again, you've dealt with that. What does it take? Because right now you're a professional athlete. You left college, became a professional. This is full time for you. What does it take to be, from your point of view, a world-class athlete for somebody out there considering this road, this path, and this journey that you're on?
I think it's a lot of sacrifice. You have to be willing to put things aside. I also think it's a good balance as well. You have to have a balance of, you like, some people are like, oh, you just need to eat healthy all the time, or, I think it's a balance of everything. You need to have a cheat day. You know what I mean? You need to be able to interact with friends, but not let those friends hinder your growth. So I think just being able to figure that out, and um, yeah, just kind of like I guess these past few years have kind of been transition years, I would say, for myself, just as a person, as an athlete.
Tell you this one thing: a lot of athletes don't even hit their peak until their mid to late 20s. So you got I mean, just a lot of opportunities ahead. How excited are you for the rest of your career? Realize we got to take it one day at a time. Remember, I was an athlete too, and I spent a lot of time with athletes, but one day at a time. But how excited are you for your future?
Oh, it's really excited. I mean, I think I just it's just the beginning for me. um I think, my goal has been go to the Olympics, get a medal, and I want to. I mean, I want to run 10.7, 10.6 legal, and that's been a goal for me. Um, and I think I can achieve it. So that's going to be, my goal these next few years. And sky's the limit after that.
I know it. I see it. I see the sky being the limit for you. So, all right, take us through it. You've dealt with the injuries, and you've now gotten to July 4th weekend 2020. You got all this stuff going on. You got the pandemic, and you got Black Lives Matter and protests and police brutality, you know, all this stuff going on around you, and you still got to lace them up, get in the blocks, pick them up, and put them down. Take us through the race. What was your mindset going into the race, and then take us through the race itself?
Going into the race, I mean, I knew there was a good competition, but I think the main thing for me was to go out there and try and execute as best as I could, and also focus on myself, my own lane, and control what I can control. And it was different not having a lot of fans, and just the meet itself was different just because of the pandemic. So just had to be strong mentally, like, because it felt like practice a little bit, like it was just us and the other teams or athletes that were competing. So I would say that was different, and just mentally you just had to keep your mind, this is race day, this is. And also I was like really nervous and antsy as well, because I've been doing really well in training, so I was kind of holding myself to a high standard, if that makes sense. So um, the prelim was a good race for me to like get my confidence. My time wasn't that good, but I knew that my block start was so bad it was going to be okay in the finals. You know what I mean? And if I got a little better, but unfortunately my block start wasn't that much better in the finals. But
You stumbled.
stumbled. Yeah, fourth step, but it I stumbled, and I just remember telling myself, you stumbled. There's a girl who in front of you who just went 10-7 last year. You need to go. So I just, yeah, told myself, okay, you kind of messed up a little bit. Let's go. And after watching the video, I didn't even think. I was like, dang, I haven't even seen myself that fast in a while. So I think I kind of shocked myself after that, and be able to run 11:1. I haven't ran that since 2017, plus a stumble out of the block. So I was like really, really excited. Usually I wouldn't be too happy because I lost though, but because it's like, my fastest time in 3 years, I was excited. But then, next race it's go time.
Hey, well, congratulations. What is next? When is the next race? I know a lot of things are up in the air, but I look at all of these other sports that are happening out there. And one of the things that I think is that, track is one of those sports that should be where athletes and running should be able to compete a little more frequently and often, shouldn't be as challenged by the pandemic. Doesn't mean we're not concerned, but I believe that track. Well, what's next for you?
I believe there's a meet in Claremont, Florida on the 25th or 26th. So to go there and compete there. And I know there's a few meets in Atlanta. So we might go to some of those Atlanta meets after the meet on the 25th is the plan.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, what's your advice? Actually, before I even get to that question, what's your biggest frustration with the sport and coaching? One of the things that, and I'll just give you a little bit of background why I'm asking that question. There's a whole lot of different philosophies out there when it comes to running or exercise in general. Athletes should lift weight. They should not lift weights. They should do power cleans and Olympic lifting, or they should do more plyometrics and explosive type work that's more functional to athletes. Some coaches believe in over distance training. So many different philosophies. It's frustrating to me.
It,
What's
it,
your biggest frustration? How do you feel about that?
um, there's a lot. I would say number one frustration would be, I think coaches try to fit athletes into a box depending on their coaching style. And I think certain athletes need more in every individual is different, every body type is different. And, I'm 5'10". There could be a sprinter who's 5'3", 5'4". They might not need the same exercises or the same lifts that I do. So I think, yeah, I think coaches need to stop fitting athletes into that box, and be more open minded, and do. I mean, I don't know what it's like to coach, so I can't say go do more research, but try to find different solutions for those athletes who need more individual workouts, or individual warm-ups, just something different, because not everybody is the same. I think that's definitely my number one frustration.
Wow, girl, you inside my head. Because that is what frustrates me the most. In fact, I've got my entire YouTube channel, my entire show is dedicated to just that. Look, you see this. Any athlete can run up to 20% faster. But what you have to do is you have to figure out what that individual athlete needs. And so many coaches, you're right, stick athletes inside of the one box based upon what they know. And that doesn't work. You are unique. You can't do the same thing with the length of your levers that somebody 5'3". No, you got to be, in order to do the same exercise, you probably have to be 30 to 40% stronger to do the same exercise the same way they would. And people don't think about that. What else frustrates you, girl? Because I'm excited now.
um I uh let's see, another one. I know this might be far fetched, or some people might not like this, but I don't think coaches who have been caught for banned substances should be coaching. That's my personal opinion. I think that messes up the track world. I mean, you cheated back then. How do we know? How can we trust you now? I know everybody makes mistakes, but that's one thing that also didn't sit well with me. I feel like we praise athletes in the track world that have been caught for banned substances, and that also, I don't understand that either. This is supposed to be a clean sport. This is about integrity, and yeah, I think that's a big frustration for me as well, because it just logically doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense. And look, I competed back in the late 80s and through the 90s, ended up retiring in 2000. But one of the things that yeah, I look at is guys that got caught. I mean, the big scandal we had was Ben Johnson, in 88 and in the Olympics. But then there were so many others, and then there were so many rumors too. And look, there's a rumor.
That's
Ooh,
different.
that's different. Okay. But once you've been caught, yeah, there's got to be, from where I sit, a lot more checks and balances put in place to make
Yeah,
sure that that athlete either, well, most importantly, doesn't get away with cheating again. Because what I found is cheaters just get smarter the next time around. That's for
yeah,
sure.
exactly. And it's like, it's also frustrating. It's hard too, because in track and field there's a lot of things that are banned for us to take, like simple things like Midol for women, and NyQuil, just things like we have to be very aware of what we're putting into our bodies too. So sometimes that doesn't work in our favor. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because like something like taking Midol or a NyQuil, or I know one athlete had taken the medicine for the flu. I mean, that's also hard too. So I think on certain things they need to. I don't know how exactly they would do it, but it's just, I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot I could talk about and go on, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that honestly, I think there are too many restrictions,
Yeah,
because there's because it there are so many things that are in everyday products that even if you get sick, you got to be careful taking. And in most cases, what I found is most athletes just aren't taking anything because
yeah,
they don't want to take the risk that something's going to cause them to fail a test. And girl, hold on, if we get back on the test for a second,
yeah,
we need to have more structure in testing,
yeah,
okay, and accountability. And when somebody skips a test or they're not available 3 times or 4 times, those should count. I mean, there's just too many loopholes, and especially for the stars in the sport. And this is the thing: the stars in the sport, they get away with a whole lot more. And by stars, I mean the top. They get away with a lot more, and they shouldn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So here's my last question for you. Tokyo, what's your plan?
Make that team, make that, gotta get past trials. Olympic trials, is the 100-meter final at the trials was faster than the Olympics. So it's not an easy team to make when you're trying to make Team USA. So it's been my goal since I was 10 years old. I started running when I was 8, decided when I was 10 I want to go to the Olympics. So I missed it in 2016 from an injury. You know, when I ran 10:99, I was ranked top 5 in the world at that time. So just to get back up there, get my name back up there, and reach my full potential.
Well, you know, I tell you this, the athletes like yourself actually benefit from the delay that we're in right now. Gives you a chance to get healthy, get a lot stronger, and increases your odds for making the team. So I'm excited for you. So I want to thank you for spending a little time with us. That's my girl, Hannah Cunliffe, one of the world's best. All right. Hey, last parting words, advice to young athletes aspiring to be where you are. What's your advice to them?
I would say believe in yourself. Don't listen to the negative comments people have to say, and always pursue your dream. Always, no matter what.
Always pursue your dream. Hey, I'm Zig Ziglar, the sports kinesiologist. You're tuned into the only show on the air dedicated to helping you improve how you move. Hey, blending sports, fitness, science, and you. I want to thank my girl, Hannah Cunliffe, for joining us right here. Be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. It's right there. And be sure to catch my show on your favorite local sports radio station. Oh, that's the only one, ESPN Radio. Hey, I'm right here based in Las Vegas now, baby. So, hey, when you're in Vegas, Hannah, come spend a little time with me. Thanks for being with us.